Good morning, gang. Welcome. Yes, it is morning. Look, this is my PJ shirt. Hair is a mess, but it's been nearly a year since we've talked. And so it's time again to join me in the tiny kitchen. This morning, we're going to make some waffles. We got coffee all going on over there. The dogs are having their breakfast. I'm having my tea. Let's make some waffles, okay? This is going to be fun. This is going to be easy, and they're going to be amazing. I promise you that much. All right. So what I have here is, in this bowl, I've already prepped a little bit. We've got 1 3/4 cup of flour. We've got about a tablespoon of baking powder and about a half a teaspoon of salt. Some people like to throw in maybe a teaspoon of sugar. Not always necessary. I'm not going to do it in this case. I've taken my handy dandy Pampered Chef whisk and already blended everything together. Get some of the lumps out of the flour. Get it all nice and smooth. Very good. And this is also a Pampered Chef bowl. This is a prep bowl. And there's a reason I'm using this bowl. You'll see it why in a minute. Put that aside. Okay. Over here, I'm going to put in 2 eggs. You might notice, by the way, I'm cracking the eggs against the countertop rather than the edge of the thing. Because when I use the edge of the bowl, a lot of times bits of shell get in there. Nobody likes that. Okay. Now, in addition to the 2 eggs, here's some of the magic. We're going to put in 2 egg yolks, right? And that means we got to separate our eggs. Let me show you how that happens. All right. This is the easy way to do it. So you break your eggshell, and we're going to separate the halves carefully so that the yolk falls into one of the halves and the white goes into the bowl over here. All right. See, so all the white is falling out and into here. Yolk is still in there, so I'm going to put it in the yolk. And I'm going to do this again. This one broke in a little bit of a funky way, but that's okay. We can always adapt. Most of that white is just going to fall out right away and swirl itself around the yolk. You hardly have to do anything. And there we go. So we have 2 whole eggs, 2 egg yolks. That's going to be magical. I'm also going to add some basic cooking oil. And since I've got my handy dandy Pampered Chef measuring bowl over here, I can actually measure out. I need a half a cup of cooking oil, and that's going to take me to right about here. And maybe I should have used a full-size bottle instead of this guy, because this is going to take me a while. All right. Another alternative you could use to that is a melted stick of butter. Both work fine. And that's that for this. So now I'm going to walk these together. Don't get too crazy. You just want to make sure it's all blended. All right. Back to our dry mix. We got our dry mix, we got our wet mix. All right, here's one of those areas where you get a little bit of leeway here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in, this is 2 cups of buttermilk. If you want to use regular milk, you use about 1 3/4 cups, something like that. I don't know why there's a difference, but it does definitely work differently this way. All right, let's do some blending. Same whisk, who cares? It's all going together, right? So slowly blend in the buttermilk. And you can see it's going to get real thick and clumpy at first, and then it's going to thin out as you persist. Make sure you scrape those sides and the bottom. Get all the dry stuff wet, and then we're going to mix in our egg and oil mixture. That's pretty yellow for waffle batter, isn't it? That's okay. Look at it. Starting to blend in, get down to a more familiar color. With waffles and pancakes, you want to make sure you don't overmix, all right? Because then it winds up being kind of dense and icky, and nobody likes that. Now, here's the secret to the waffles that nobody ever tells you. Okay, one of the secret ingredients to a waffle is time, and by that I mean we're going to take our batter, and because this is the Pampered Chef container, we have a lid for it. We can cover it up. We're going to put it in the fridge. We're going to let it sit for a couple hours. You can let this go as long as overnight. All right. Trust me on this one. I'll see you in a little while. So while this is baking, and it's right in front of me now, so there might be steam coming up in front of my face here. You might have noticed that I did pull up 2 different sprayer bottles. I keep one for olive oil and the other one for canola oil, and I actually made nice little labels for each one, so I know which is which. So I used canola for this, all right, but I didn't know which one I was grabbing, so I grabbed them both for our purposes here, so I could glance at it real quick and use the correct one. Hey, nice stuff. Now, waffle irons have a light on them that say ready. Okay, the only thing that light is telling you is that the waffle iron is up to speed on temperature. All right, it has nothing to do, it doesn't know whether the waffle is ready, but it's a pretty good indicator that it might be ready, because what that means is that everything all the way through has reached the same temperature. What I like to go by is the waffle iron, the waffle itself, and I'll show you what I mean. So I don't know how easy it is to see here, but there is steam pouring out of this here waffle baker. And that's the thing you want to watch for, because right now that ready light is lit. All right, but there's still a lot of steam coming out. You want most of that steam to be gone. All right, on this particular model, I find that it might take 2 full cycles of the waffle baker light coming on. All right, we have jumped ahead a couple of minutes, and you can see probably that the steam has decreased. The light has actually come on for the second time, and I'm at the point where I can smell it, because what's happening is this stuff over here is starting to cook and get really crispy. So we're going to flip this guy over, and we're going to open it up, and look at that. That is a pretty nice waffle. And I'm going to loosen it up with the fork and move it over here to the plate, and that puppy is ready to go. Now, if I am making multiple waffles, and I am, but I'm just using the plate for our purposes this morning, what I will do is I will take that waffle and I will move it into a preheated warm oven. So you're talking like, 170, one of the low temperatures down there, and put it directly on the rack, all right? It also gives, sometimes the waffles aren't quite as crispy as you expect them to be, and so it actually gives them a chance to toast up just a little bit. So that, my friend, is waffles. Hope you enjoyed this. Keep on cooking. If you got any ideas that you'd like me to see me cook, give me a shout. Let's see what happens. I'm just kind of making it up as I go along, all right? Have fun.